All right. Today, looking at the Pythagorean theorem, and what is that? That is our good old a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Good news is you never have to memorize that. You just need to know when to use it because it's on our reference sheet that you get at the end of the year. All right, so Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. How's it used? To find the third side of a right triangle. So if you've got two sides in a right triangle, you need to find the third. Pythagorean theorem. Two important facts. Fact number one is this can only be used with a right triangle. Fact number two, the hypotenuse, also known as C, also known as the longest side, is across from the right angle. All right, so those are good facts. So for example, down here where we got to solve for TV, if I look where my right angle is, which is right here, across from that, right down here, that good old x, that's going to be our c in our Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, so we know our c is the x squared. But what's a and b? Well, it does not matter. A can be 12 or it could be 5. Your choice. So I got 5 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. So then I do 5 squared, add it to 12 squared. I get 169 equals x squared. How do we get the good old x alone? Well, when it's squared, we do the opposite. Which is the opposite of squared? It's the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of 169. How do you get the square root in your calculator? Well, you know how you hit the squared button? Hit second first, and then that same button. Type in 169. We get x is 13. All right. Moving on. Find the missing length of the side. Leave your answer. Oh, simplest radical form. So sometimes we might have to simplify radicals. All right, so here we go. All right, first thing, got to figure out where that C is. I know I got a right triangle. I see the right angle. Across from it, always C. We'll put a little C there. So this one, I got 3 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. So 3 squared and 3 squared is 18. It's going to equal x squared. Again, I take the square root of both sides. Square root of 18 is x. Now I got to simplify this. So first, when I simplify, I always see, if I type in the square root of 18 in my calculator, what do I get? And I get 4.242640687. Since I get a decimal, I got to try and simplify this radical. So I got to think of what two numbers multiply to 18, one being a perfect square. Well, one of them is going to be 9 times 2. So this answer, the square root of 9 is 3. So this is 3 radical 2. All right, let's move on to my next one. Ooh, this time, look, 65 is with my C. So that means I got x squared plus 25 squared equals 65 squared. The x is on the other side this time. So, all right, how are we going to solve this? Well, step 1, square everything. So I still got x squared plus. I'm going to square the 25, so 25 squared. That's 625 equals 65 squared. 4,225. Then, got to get this x alone, so subtract 625 from both sides. So now I got x squared equals 4,225 minus 625 gets me 3,600. Take the square root of both sides. It says leave in simplest radical form, but I always check first. If I take the square root of that number, what happens? Oh, hey, if I take the square root of 3,600, I get 60. And guess what? That is simplest radical form. All right, let's move on. All right, so next, let's see. All right, we're going to do this one. Find the length of a side of a square whose diagonal has the given length of 8 radical 6. So I'm going to draw a picture. I got a square. Here's a diagonal. And this diagonal I know is 8 radical 6. A fact about a square that you might remember, if not, that's all right, is that all sides are equal. So if this side's x, guess what that one over here is x to? So this equation, I got x squared plus x squared equals 8 radical 6 whole thing squared. And how do I know that's my c? Because here's my right angle. Cross from it, c. All right, let's do this. So x squared plus x squared is a 2x squared. Then I grab my lovely calculator and type this in. So parentheses 8 second x squared, type in the 6, close the parentheses twice, square that, you should get 384. Next, divide both sides by 2. Divide that by 2, 384. Divided by 2, I get 192. Take the square root of both sides, and guess what? We have to simplify this radical. So x is going to equal. What multiplies to 192? Oh, hey, 64 times 3 is 192. So I take the square root of 64, and I get 8 radical 3 as my final answer. All right, you're going to do this one. Nearest tenth of a foot, so that one you just got to round at the end. You're going to do this one too, and then I'm going to draw the picture for this last one. So sometimes you might need to draw a picture. So I see if a ladder is 12 centimeters away from a building. So I got a building here. That's my ladder. Makes a right angle. It's 12 centimeters away, so here's my 12. And reaches 35 centimeters up the building, so here's my 35. I gotta find how long my ladder is, x. So that's my c. So I got 12 squared plus 35 squared equals x squared. I'll let you solve that one too. But hey, we're gonna work on drawing pictures in class. So you got these last 3 questions to do. We'll check them tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. All right. See you the next day. We're in class.